Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so excited to share this amazing Korean vegetable soup with all of you today. I don't know if everyone knows, but I'm married to a Korean man. He's born and raised in Germany, but his whole family is Korean, and he loves Korean food. So my mother-in-law actually taught me a lot of amazing Korean recipes, and one of them is this particular soup that I'm going to share with you all today. One staple in my refrigerator at all times is this famous Gochujang Korean red pepper paste. This is what it looks like. And even I'm not Korean, but it is one of my favorite things in the, to have in my refrigerator because you can make so many different things with it. I actually recently just posted a photo of my fridge, and a lot of people spied on this paste, and a lot of you have asked for me to share some recipes with it. So I'm really excited that I'm going to show you this amazing, really healthy Korean vegetable soup. So let's start cooking. All you really need is the gochujang red pepper paste and some tofu. I like to buy firm tofu because I just, it's a preference. I like firm tofu. And you need one large potato, some garlic, one onion, and I would say half of this hot pepper. I don't know what you call this one. Jalapeno, yeah, jalapeno. And you also need one large zucchini and some green onions right here, which I'm going to chop in a little bit. And then the base of the soup is a vegetable stock. Now, I've seen Korean people make it with fish stock. I personally prefer vegetable stock, and I make my own vegetable stock, and this is something I do probably once a month. I make it and then I freeze it. I have a video on IGTV saved on the IGTV, so you can go there for some inspiration. I also share how I make my chicken stock, but for this particular soup, I like vegetable stock. So the first step is we're going to heat up our vegetable broth on the stove in a nice big pot with one really nice heaping spoon of our Korean paste. You're gonna add the onion and the garlic to the broth while it's heating up, just a rough chop. The next step is I just peeled my potato and I'm going to chop it into cubes, and we're gonna add this also into our broth because the potatoes need the longest to cook, so they need about, I would say, 20 minutes. And while the potatoes are cooking, I'm going to chop the rest of my vegetables. I'm going to add this now into our broth. So next up, I'm going to slice my zucchini. I just washed it, and the way how I like to cut it is I'm going to cut it in the middle first, like this, and then I'm going to cut it not too thin. I like to have it a nice chunk to it, so I would say about this size. I'm going to put this aside and wait until my potatoes are cooked. And again, in the meantime, I'm going to chop the rest of my veggies. I'm going to put that into a bowl and save it for later. And I'm going to cut my jalapeno. I'm only going to use half of it. I'm actually going to add this now with my broth and my potatoes. I just opened and drained my tofu, and I'm going to cut it. And we're going to add the tofu in last. So now I'm just going to wait until my potatoes are cooked, and we're going to add the rest to the soup. And now I'm just checking my broth, and as you can see, it's just starting to cook up. And I'm just going to wait till the potatoes are cooked, and then we're going to add the rest of the vegetables. All right, so while the soup is cooking and I have a little bit of time, I just really quickly wanted to talk about the basics that I have in my refrigerator or in my cupboard in terms of Korean food. So like I said earlier, this is in my refrigerator at all times. I love this paste, and we always have kimchi at our house. I love kimchi. It's a staple. I just love it with like rice and vegetables or with some sort of chicken. We always have that here. We also always have seaweed paper, staple. I like these individual kind of little containers because we don't eat too many of them and it's a great snack. So I always have them. Another thing I always have in my house is white miso paste because I also love making miso soup, and this is a staple. And I also always have toasted sesame oil. I love the way how it tastes. It just sort of like makes any kind of Korean dish, and always at the end, I don't cook with it, but I like it for flavor on top of my cooked food. So a splash of that is just, I just love the way how it tastes. It's so good. And then the last thing I always have is I like to have roasted sesame seeds, and I have black ones and I have just the original white sesame seeds. So these are great. Oh, and the most important thing, rice. We always have rice. And I'm going to share with you guys our rice cooker. I have to bring it in. Da, 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 da. This is my husband's baby. We bought this rice cooker a couple of years ago, and he did so much research on rice cookers, and apparently this is the best one. I can't even pronounce the name of it, but it is a staple in any Korean household. My mother-in-law has a rice cooker, so we have this guy running at least every other day in our house, sometimes even every day. We always have warm rice here, and particularly with this type of soup I'm sharing with you today, it is so good. Like on the side, some rice in the soup, and I'm just so happy. So yeah, those are the staples. All right, so the potatoes are done. The next step is we're gonna add the zucchini. And the reason why I'm adding the zucchini now is because the potatoes take longer and I don't like overcooked vegetables. So we're gonna add this now for about, I would say, 7 minutes. And then we're gonna add at the end the tofu. The tofu only needs to cook for like a minute. All right, now that the zucchini is done, I'm going to add my tofu and my chopped green onions. And again, the tofu only needs like a minute or two. This does not really need to be cooked. So it's just at the very end. I think anyone can make the soup. I don't think you need to have a lot of skills in the kitchen. Even my assistant Jess is right next to me and she's like, I think I can make this. So I have faith in all of you. All right, so now I'm just gonna prep my little dish with my kimchi. I'm gonna get my rice ready. And what's so great about a rice cooker is it's just always perfect and it keeps it warm, and you can make it, during the day, and then at night when you're ready to eat, you have the perfect rice. I like to add a little bit of sesame oil on top of my rice for flavor. I also like to have some seaweed on the side, and then the soup is done. All right, you guys, here is my Korean vegetable soup with the perfect amount of rice and my kimchi, my seaweed paper, and the combination of these things is just so delicious. I love it. I make it at least once a week, and it's such a great light dinner, or it's a great lunch. I'm gonna have a bite because I can't wait. It's so good. It's so good with some kimchi on the side. And some seaweed paper. I also love to just put some rice in there. Get the right combo. Some kimchi. So good. All right, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Maybe next time I get to convince my husband to be in the video. He's super camera shy, and I'm dying to have him in one of my videos. I love Korean food, and I hope that I inspired you to maybe, get out of your comfort zone and try something new. As always, I love it when you take some pictures and tag me on Instagram, and I see you in the next video. Bye.